Amy Winehouse, everybody! Now, you've been away for a little while. What have you been up to?
I've done an album, it's called Back to Black.
Mm-hmm.
Please go and buy it.
Would you go as far as say it's a bit more accessible than your debut?
I say it was more accessible. It's not necessarily more poppy, but you know, jazz and exclusive. It's quite an elitist music. You know, and this album's a lot less like that.
And what would you say the main theme is?
It's the same as the last one. It's about, you know, things going wrong.
And what particularly, if you can be specific, went wrong during the time when you were making this album?
I think my ex-boyfriend and I did everything, the most horrible things that two people could do to each other, that love each other, could do to each other. And I think it was a case that we met too young. We weren't prepared, you know, for the way we felt about each other. It's too much. Burnt out. It's too intense.
So tell us a little bit about the song Rehab.
Rehab was when I got myself into a real dark place, and my friend of mine called my dad and said, you've got to come and sort her out because we don't know what we're doing with her. She doesn't talk to anyone. She's nuts. She's drinking as soon as she wakes up. She's mad. And my dad comes around. My dad bursts into tears. And my dad's quite soft, but if my dad cries, I'll be like, I'll do anything, Dad. I'll do whatever you want me to do. I want to stay with him. And then my manager just came for me and goes, we're going to take you to this place. So I went down there. I met up with the fella. He said, why do you think you're here? I said, because I do drink a lot. I think it's symptomatic of my depression. Like, I'm a manic depressive. I'm not an alcoholic, which sounds like an alcoholic in denial. And he goes, oh, will you fill in this form? I said, how long does it take? He said, half an hour. I said, do you know what? I don't want to waste your time anyway still. Meanwhile, my managers are in the pub down the road having like Sunday roast. It's a joke.
So the line, they wanted me to go to rehab, and I said, no, no, no. That is actually what happened.
Yeah.
You were like, no, I'm not up for it.
Well, it was 10 weeks. I mean, you can hear it in the lyrics. It was 70 days, 10 weeks. And I just thought, nah, do they have a gym there? What's going to happen to who's going to feed my cats? Who's like, do you know what I mean? Like real
practical issues.
The thing is that, you know, alcoholism is a horrible thing, but if you can't remember the practical issues, that's when you know you've got a real problem.
So your cat saved you from rehab?
They did. Thank you, Monkey. Thank you, Melina.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You got your new album out yesterday. Stylistically, it's quite different from Frank, from the first album. It's much of a less of an obvious kind of like jazz influence in it. Now, I read an interview with you saying, and I don't know if it misquoted you, but it said that you've actually kind of gone off jazz. Is that right?
No, I've stopped listening to it really, because that's the music I grew up to. You know, as you get older, your tastes, well, not necessarily your tastes, but appetite changes. Sometimes you want a bit of something else.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a lot of, I am currently listening to a lot of Shangri-Las, a lot of Ray Charles, The Specials, you know, a lot of ska.
And like so Motown and Stax as well comes through a lot of it as well.
Yeah, very much so.
So although musically the style is different, the one thing that I thought that the two albums really do have in common is that lyrically they're very, very honest. I mean, they really kind of like lay your life bare, as it were.
Yeah.
Is that really important to you? I mean, do you think that's necessary for good songwriting to do that?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I need to have lived it so I've got a full.
Yeah.
So I know what's what. Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely.
Okay. Now, you work with Mark Ronson
Yeah.
on this album, and he's obviously like the producer at the moment, really.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how would you describe your working relationship with him?
Well, it's really cool, you know. Like, Mark is such a cool guy, and he's like me. He's the music geek, yeah. So I'd go in the studio and I'd say, I want something that sounds like this and this and this and this, and he'd be like, cool, okay, cool. Come back at 2 o'clock tomorrow. I'll see you then, and he'd have come up with some really cool beat. But you know, me and he worked together we worked together so closely. I mean, a lot of the other stuff he's done and he's known for, he does everything.
Yeah.
And then the artist just comes in and sings. Or the artist will write the song over it, you know, whatever. We worked really closely together. It was really nice because when I had the finished album in my hand, I sent him a message just saying thank you so much for making, you know, I wouldn't have been able to do this album without you.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm so proud. He goes, yeah, he said to me, it's my proudest moment as well, which is really nice.
Wow, that's a hell of a compliment, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just a lovely boy. We just clicked musically and personally and creatively.
Yeah, so can you see yourself working with him again?
Oh, easily,
yeah.
I can't wait to go and work with him again.
Brilliant, okay. Have you got a favourite track on the album?
I love them all. I really love them all.
Cool. All right, now, there are two things, I'm sure you're sick of this, but everybody is sort of talking about, you know, as regards you at the moment, and that's the drinking, which is in the paper a lot, and also the weight that you've lost in the last couple of years. Now, I read you gave an answer to someone asking about this, where you kind of put the two things together and said that that you've been drinking so much that you forget to eat sometimes.
Yeah.
Was that a joke, or was that?
No, it's true.
It's a serious.
Sometimes if you drink, you're just like drinking. Food isn't important. You don't
Yeah,
think,
I
oh,
do.
I'm hungry. You think, oh, let's have a shot of tequila.
Yeah.
And yeah, they are linked sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I mean, I feel good now. Putting some weight. I'm not like, you know.
I was going to say you're not like the photos that I saw
No,
actually.
no,
that's good.
no. I've put on weight. I feel a lot better.
Good. Okay. Now, obviously the first track's called Rehab, and it deals with that, or it deals with people's attempts to push you in that direction, and,
Yeah.
and you sort of saying no to that. I understand you actually did go once. Is that right? Just to see what it was about.
No, I went just so everyone would shut up and leave me alone.
Yeah.
I literally walked in and walked out. It was like a revolving door. I literally went in and he said, "Why do you think you're here?" And I said, "I drink a lot, but I'm not an alcoholic. I'm like in love with someone, and it's really messed up." So.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, do you think it's because it's almost like the rock star checklist, isn't it? A stint in rehab. Do you think it's like an easy way out, or?
No, I just think it's like, I don't know. You know, there's a lot of people that do have real demons and they can't help themselves. But you know, I can. You know, I believe I can.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't done anything like, you know, I haven't had the serious addictions like a crack addiction or a cocaine addiction.
Sure.
But like things like weed, I kicked. Stuff like eating, like not eating properly or being funny about food, beating that.
Mm-hmm.
And drink. You know, now I'm at the point where I work so much that I need a drink, and I'm like, oh, at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I need a drink. But I'm not at that point that I was, where I wake up and all I want to do is get drunk and forget things, you know.
Yeah. So it sounds like it was more of an unhappiness thing than
Yeah.
than an
That's what he
addiction.
said. He said, I think
Yeah.
he's just depressed. I said, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I mean, I was going to ask you about smoking weed, but you said you've given that up.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay, because
Yeah.
the last track on the album's about that, isn't it? Is
Yeah,
that
I
right?
wrote that about 2 years ago, yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to ask you if you had to give up one of them, which it would be, but you've obviously given up one of them
Yeah,
already. So
because I do love going to the gym. I really love going to the gym. It's such a high.
yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, and it just if you smoke weed, it just robs you of your energy.
Yeah, and motivation as well. To
Yeah.
do it. Yeah. Okay. Now, another thing I think that's changed about you in the last couple of years is that you don't seem to be slagging off other artists quite as
No.
much. You had a bit of a run of doing that in
Yeah.
interviews, but you seem to have stopped doing that. Is that just growing up, or is it?
I think it's growing up. The weed thing made me quite defensive as well, because my album was so different. I wasn't sure how it would be received. That made me defensive.
Yeah.
And you know, there were things that I said that were quite obvious that everyone knows that. Do you know what I mean? I didn't need to say that because it says more about me than it does them. Do you know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
And I do. You know, I don't wish anyone any bad blood. Maybe I've grown up a bit, but you know, everyone's got to make money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, I'm not trying to get you to say people off now. I wouldn't do that. But what do you make of Pete Doherty, for example? Have you met him?
I have met Pete. He
Yeah.
actually, I spoke to him the other day. We're going to do a tune together, hopefully.
Oh right.
He's just a lovely boy. Lovely boy.
Do you think he gets a bad press then?
No, I think he's good copy. That's all.
Right.
And he's. I think he's a genius. He's a
Okay.
genius. I'd love to do something with him if we both, you know, put it out and just do it.
Yeah, it'd be brilliant. Now, Lily Allen is someone who's come along, obviously, in the meantime between your two albums, and she, I've read a couple of people saying that she's almost picked up your blueprint in a way, in terms of lyrics anyway, not music, but, you know, in terms of being really honest about what it's like to be young and female in London. You know, do you see that connection? Do you see?
Yeah, I do. She's very. I mean, we've got different styles, but like, she is very outspoken. She says what's on her mind. She's a proper London girl.
Do you rate her? Do you think she's good?
Yeah, she's cool. She's a
Yeah.
nice girl.
Okay. Now, you were at the Q Awards last night.
Yeah.
Was that good fun?
Oh God, yeah.
Almost too much fun.
It was just afterwards. We just went mad. Me and my mate, we just went loony.
Yeah.
We went to the after chat thing. It was alright. We went for like a bit. We looked around. We were just like, oh my God, and we went somewhere else.
Okay. Because I've heard a thing today that you weren't particularly impressed about U2 winning an award. Was that?
Yeah, it was so blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
And I was drunk, but I was more like, you know, I don't want to talk about it because I've but like they're a band, you know. They're not like Morpheus, Zeus, Samson. Do you know what I mean? They're not like demigods. Do you know what I mean? They're just a bunch of nice fellas, really. And everyone's like standing ovation. I think it's a bit silly, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. Okay. All right. I'll come to the end then. Now, you've described your own voice as like belonging to like a big old black lady before. It's almost like, you know, I mean, your voice does not sound like you look at all.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about where that might come from, or do you just don't think about those
It's
things?
the music I listen to. I mean, everything you listen to rubs off on you, and it affects the way I write. You know, definitely. So I think it's just my influences.
Okay. And my very last question is: Would you say that you're happy at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
I just like to say sorry to anyone.
Wait. Amy, you don't have to. We're all recording. You ready?
Oh, no,
You don't have to. You don't have to. You haven't done anything wrong.
You've done
nothing wrong, Amy.
Just give us,
Amy,
Okay.
don't do it.
Amy, don't say nothing, Amy, don't say it.
Just give us a reaction.
Let me say something. At least the photos that have been leaked out, I've got in my computer because some of them, most of them, if not all of them, are really happy times.
Have you done it, Amy?
I don't know, but I know what's sweet is you though.
We just
I
left you
know.
some.
Thank you.
Come on there.
Okay, that is nice. I need to see them strip it down. I don't know what to say really.
Nothing, you don't have to say nothing, love.
It's been a thing.
You're alright.
Like,
We love you, your friends love you.
you know, I guess, in regards to my mother-in-law, her son is out for 6 weeks, and that should be more important to her than whatever.
Yeah.
And we're just looking forward to him coming back, really.
Fantastic, Amy. Are you missing Blake?
Am I missing him?
Of course you
He's kind of with me all the time, which sounds silly, but I don't know, I love him, and anything perceived as racist, like a silly kind of football chant, and I don't want to play anything down, I'm the least racist person, but
Of course you are, Amy.
and I think it's irresponsible for the musical world to not asterisk certain words.
Yeah.
Amy, your dad say you'd love to be a man.
Did they give you warning? Did they ask you what they're going to sing?
No, but I think they should have started out certain words.
You see the thing about in the Sunday People Day, it says that you want to have some babies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Says about babies from your dad. Interview from your dad.
Alright. How many kids do you want to have then, Amy?
I don't even want to jinx it, touch wood, but you know, I just want a lot of children, and
Okay. And what about the James Bond filming or the soundtrack? The soundtrack.
I didn't record anything specifically for James Bond, but I think when
Yeah, come out
I
there a
think
little
the
bit.
stuff I've recorded and things that I'll continue to record and I'm recording, I think it's pretty much stuff that they will like.
Yeah.
It's quite dramatic and.
So you're still doing the recording, obviously.
I'm doing my album,
Yeah.
and you know if there's anything like that they like,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you know they won't be that different. You know, it's quite the same style.
Cool.
It's all good in my stuff, so quite dramatic and atmospheric and a lot of sound effects and. You know, I'll die for him and we're in love. You know, Blake's my James Bond.
Yeah.
Have you written a song about Blake? Have you written any new songs about your life?
Songs about Blake.
Is that's going to be on the new album? Is it?
Yeah, it's all. I suppose all the songs on the new album are going to be about Blake. Not just him being away. This period of time he's been away, but some years ago. You know, I always knew.
And what are you going to call the album? Have you got a name for it yet? Have you decided on a name?
Black Don't Crack.
Do you think Blake will make a good dad?
Blake already.
We know you're going to be a good mum.
I don't know if Blake's going to be better than this guy. I think he'll do a better job than this guy. No, I'm joking.
Amy, you look lovely.
Blake is going to be the best dad going. You know. I can't.
Do you want a boy or a girl? What do you prefer?
Honestly, I could not be more happy if I was full pregnant. A friend of mine's wife recently had a dream that I was pregnant, and I believe so much in, you know, dreams brings, you know,
dreams coming true.
Yeah.